Okay, so there I said that when I was talking about evolution of money, the first thing came was commodity money, and in the very beginning there exist few commodities, yes, which were needed by everyone. Okay, so what were the commodities? Let me write down here. Commodities like arrows, bows, seashells. Okay, now which are mostly used in hunting. So which are mostly used in hunting, you know. So it became the first, you can remember this form of medium of exchange, and hence this commodity was acted as money. So hence you can say acted as money. Okay, so commodity money, in the very beginning there exist few commodities which were needed by everyone. So like, arrows, bows, seashells, which are mostly used in hunting, and this became the first form of medium of exchange, which is also called as money. Now let us see the next one, that was metallic money. So just let me rub this. Okay, so metallic money, so let me write down here metallic. Okay, yes, metallic money. So now with further progress, when years came by, so with further progress of civilization also happened. So civilization, so commodity money was replaced. Okay, so commodity money was replaced, okay, by precious stones or items. So by precious items like gold and silver, for monetary use. So this was also used for monetary use, okay. And now, so gold and money, and gold and silver, now these two are very old ancient metallic money. So gold and silver largely, okay, largely formed the metallic money. Okay, now there was sort of lot of advantages. So let us just see what were the advantages of metallic money. So advantages of metallic money. Okay, so first is, it was very easy to handle. So it was very easy to handle. You could use it anywhere you want to. You could traveling also, it was very comfortable. Okay, then the second, they can be easily stored. Okay, wherever you want you can store the money. Okay, they do not get spoiled, so they do not deteriorate. Okay, so because silvers doesn't spoil the color, maybe it becomes a little blackish, but they do not deteriorate in color, and it doesn't get spoiled also. Okay, then they, the fourth one, let me write down here, the fourth point is they have the right degree of scarcity, which, so gold and silver also was always scarce, because, and that is why it was always valuable. So which made, everybody didn't have gold and silver, and that is why they had the right degree of scarcity, which made them valuable. Yes, so everybody wanted to buy and wanted to have at least silver and gold with them, for all. Okay, so for all, this had become, they had the right degree of scarcity, and everybody wanted gold and silver, and hence it acted as a perfect medium of exchange. Okay, now as I said, now with time and technology, so time and technology is very important. So with time and technology, okay, the hard form of gold and silver, was replaced by coinage system. So let me write down here, coinage system. Okay, so gold and silver were used was used for as money, but it was replaced as coin. So gold and silver coins started. Firstly, initially it was in any square or in triangle form and all. Then later on it was replaced as a coin. So it was very easy. So it was circular in form and became a coin. So gold and silver coins, which were used widely, were used as money. Okay, and the last evolution comes is the paper money, which we are basically now using. So let me just rub this. Okay, so now we'll come to is paper money. Okay, so then basically there was an advent, or the beginning, I can say the advent or beginning of state. So state was built, and political structure, okay, had given rise to a new form of money, which, although has no underlining, so it is not exactly set value. Okay, so definitely it has value, but so it's like paper doesn't have any value, but it is having a value because the government is giving a guarantee. Okay, so that is why, though it didn't have any underlying value, but here the government was created, the state was created, there was a political structure which gave gave a new rise to a new form of money, which although had no underlying value, because see, paper has no value, right? But if the government gives the guarantee, then obviously it is a value, but has a guarantee by the governments. Okay, so governments are giving guarantee to this. So the government guaranteed the money. Now this guarantee money, which we all know, is known as paper money. Okay, so just let me explain once more. So as I said, when the beginning of a state and a political structure had given rise to a new form of money, which although has no underlying meaning, because paper is nothing actually, but if the government has a guarantee, which the government is giving a guarantee, it has a print of the government which is saying 10 rupees, 20 rupees. So the government guaranteed the money, and which is known as the paper money. Okay, so let us have some more features of paper money. So just let me rub this quickly. Okay, so paper money acted as money not because it has some value. See, it unlike gold, like it's not that because gold has value but paper doesn't have value. So unlike gold, which has high value, so paper, it doesn't have any value, but still it was very popular. Why? But simply because they are guaranteed by the government scarce. Okay, so everybody doesn't have the money. It is scarce. Even paper money is scarce, and all everybody doesn't have. So everybody has to earn to get the money. So with time, years and years. So with time, also paper money also was changed, and it was different colors had been introduced. So with time, paper money took the form of banknotes. Yes, so banknotes were created, banknotes to be printed by the central banks. Okay, the central banks had to print this. Okay, now let me go to the last stage of evolution. Now let me explain to you the last stage of evolution. So let me just clear this. Yes. So the last stage of evolution of money, okay, was in the form of the bank. Okay, so it was in the form of the bank deposit. So was in the form, so this is the last stage. After this there is no stage. This is the current stage, what I meant. Okay, of evolution of money was in the form of bank deposits, especially demand deposits, which people hold with the commercial banks, and that can be withdrawn at any time. Okay, so paper notes is the last stage of evolution is of money, which is in the form of bank deposits, which is is called as demand deposits, which people hold with commercial banks, and that can be withdrawn at any time. So there is a high liquidity. So thus provides, let me conclude, provides high liquidity. Okay, so this was the last stage of evolution where publics, everybody, they wanted to deposit money in bank deposits, and which is also called as demand deposits. And anytime you can withdraw the money, and everybody, the people will hold with the commercial bank. So whenever they have a bank account, and whenever they want money, they can go to and approach their banks, and they can, along with their bank account number, they can remove. So that is why it is high liquid. So you have, whenever you want, you have money, and where is the money? It is in the bank, which is in your own account number. So now we will talk about is the functions of money. Okay, so money and its function is the next topic which of discussion. So we'll write here money and its functions. Okay, so now what is money? So let us first understand the definition of money. So definition of money: anything which is widely accepted in payment of goods or in the discharge of other kind of payment obligations. Okay, so this is the first definition. We will have some more definitions of money so that you can understand better. So see the first definition: anything which is widely accepted, so where you can accept everywhere, it is money is used everywhere in payment of goods or in discharge of other kinds of payment obligations. So if you have any obligation to pay somebody, you can use money. So it is a term which is, exchange of money is a widely accepted thing, and it's a phenomenon and an instrument which can be used everywhere. Let's see the second definition here. So let me clear this. Okay, money can be defined as anything that is generally accepted as a medium of exchange and at the same time act as a measure. Okay, so it acts as a measure and also store of value. So you can store the money also. It's a medium of exchange. At the same time, you can measure the money and you can store it also. So it has a store of value. So let me write down your store of value. Now, this is the second definition. Let's talk about the third definition. Okay, so let me just rub this. Okay, so we'll go with the third definition. Now, economists, all over the world has simply defined money. A very simple definition. Money is what money does. So very easy. Money is what money does. Okay. So that is, money is anything which performs the function of money. So let me just illustrate this, or let me just explain this. So that is, money is anything which performs the function of money. Okay, so now I'll do a drawing where I will explain you the functions of money. So let me just clear the screen. Okay, so let me take this one. This color is better. Yes, functions of money. So in general terms, let me just draw like an apple. Let me draw a circle here first. Okay, and I'll divide it into 4 parts. Okay, so the first one is, it is the medium of exchange. It has the store of value. It has measurement, so measure of value. And then the next is standard of deferred payments. Okay, so standard of deferred payments. So first we will do one by one so you can understand. So the medium of exchange is, it can sell goods to, say if A will buy the goods from B, in return it will get money in his sale. So B can use the money to buy other goods also, as long as the money is having with each other. Okay, so that is the medium. So it keeps on changing from one person to another, and you can keep on buying products by the medium of exchange. Okay, so this feature is called as the medium of exchange. Okay, see the next one, it is very convenient because it is liquid, so it can be stored anywhere you want to. It thus becomes very important, because the money can be easily stored anywhere you want to, and they can be first sold and it can be converted into money. Real estates also is so difficult because you have to first sell it and then you have to get converted into money. So even the gold is the same thing, but the easiest way to save is money. So money is the easiest form. Okay, it is the easiest. Okay, now the last one is called as deferred. Now what is deferred? Say for example, now you don't need the money, but afterwards, you can tell that okay, I will pay you on a later stage. Okay, so now you take loan from the bank or something, and you have to pay in terms of money. So that is what. So if a loan is taken today and it will be paid off back in the future, that also you can pay back the loan in terms of money. So especially it's standard of deferred payment means loan taken now, pay in future by money. So I hope you have understood the 4 functions of money. So these are the 4 functions of money. Now we will talk about something very different. We will proceed further, and we will talk about is the modern monetary